Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today
Oh,
into the world of cars made in India.
cool.
You know, I think most of our listeners know at least a little bit about this topic,
Uh-huh.
but we're going to go deeper today.
Okay.
So we found this really interesting article.
All
It's
right.
called Top 10 Made in India Cars.
Okay.
It's from Park. Plus,
Uh-huh.
they're an Indian company, and they do all sorts of car-related services.
Right.
Yeah, so, it's like a pretty good source.
Yeah.
And honestly, going through this list,
Okay.
I was actually surprised by some of the names.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about what made in India actually means.
Right.
But more importantly, we're going to get into, what makes these cars special.
Okay, great.
So let's jump right in.
All right.
The first car on the list is the Tata Nexon.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure a lot of people have heard of this one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a compact SUV.
Uh-huh.
And what's really cool about it?
What's that?
It got a 5-star global NCAP safety rating.
Wow. That's amazing.
Especially for, a fully Indian car.
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's a big deal.
really impressive, yeah.
Yeah. I think
For the whole industry.
for the whole industry,
Yeah.
it's really a point of pride.
Absolutely.
And it shows, how much the industry has advanced, right? It's not just, building cars for the local market anymore.
No.
They're actually competing.
On a global level.
Yeah, on a global level when it comes to safety.
Exactly, yeah.
And people are definitely buying this car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in 2021 alone,
Okay.
they sold over 200,000 units.
Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, that's a really popular car.
It is.
And it's not just the safety rating.
No.
Right. They have all these other great features.
Like what?
Well, it has an 8-speaker Harman sound system.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it has a sunroof,
Oh, wow.
Apple CarPlay. I
Wow.
mean, it's
pretty loaded.
a really nice car.
Yeah.
And moving on, we have the Tata Safari.
Okay.
It's a 7-seater SUV,
Right.
and it also has a pretty good safety rating.
Okay.
It has a 4-star global NCAP rating.
All right. Not bad.
Yeah, and this one's interesting because
Why is that?
it's been around for a long time.
Oh, okay.
The Safari has been like a household name in India for decades.
Okay, so it's like a classic.
Yeah. It's known for being really rugged and reliable.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and they've modernized it.
They have.
Yeah, they've added all these new safety features.
Right.
But they've kept that same, rugged feel.
Oh, that's good. So they didn't mess with the formula too much.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another SUV with a high safety rating
Oh, okay.
is the Mahindra XUV 300.
Mahindra, right.
This one actually has a 5-star global NCAP rating.
So they're really competing with Tata on that.
Yeah, it seems like they're going head to head.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. And the Mahindra Thar, it's their like classic off-roader.
Yeah.
That one also got a good safety rating.
Did it really?
Yeah, 4-star global NCAP rating.
Wow, for an off-roader.
Yeah, I mean, you think of an off-road vehicle,
Yeah,
you don't necessarily think of safety.
not really, but they're doing it.
They're doing it.
Wow.
And then there's the Mahindra Scorpio.
Okay.
I feel like this one, everybody in India knows somebody who has a Scorpio.
Oh.
It's like the go-to car for, like...
Liability.
Yeah.
Toughness.
Like if you need to depend on a car,
Yeah.
you get a Scorpio.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Got it.
And it's a really good value.
Yep.
But I do wonder, with all this focus on safety now,
Right, yeah.
are they taking a risk
Yeah.
by not, really updating the Scorpio
Yeah.
to those
Safety features.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we've talked about some Indian brands, but let's look at some international brands
Oh, okay.
that are also making cars in India.
Or,
So the Honda City.
Yeah.
That's been a really popular car in India for a long time.
yeah, for sure.
And it makes sense. It's a reliable car,
Mm-hmm.
good fuel efficiency.
Yeah.
They've, added features specifically for the Indian market.
Right.
So it's
Tailored.
it's really well suited.
Okay.
And then we have the Hyundai Verna.
The Gurna.
Yeah, this is a sedan,
Okay.
but they've packed it with features.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they have ventilated seats,
Wow.
wireless charging.
It's like they're trying to
I mean,
outdo themselves
it's crazy, like
Yeah.
how much they're offering.
for the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Hyundai Grand i10 Neos.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, a lot of first-time car buyers
Huh.
use that one.
Why is that?
It's because it's really fuel efficient
Oh, wow.
and it's also affordable.
Okay.
So it's like,
The perfect first car.
it's a really good value.
Yeah.
And speaking of fuel efficiency, We have the Honda Amaze.
The Amaze, okay.
Yeah, it's another one that's really popular.
In the same
because it's good on gas.
segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the Renault Kwid.
The Quid. Okay,
Yeah.
what's that one like?
So it's a small hatchback,
All right.
but it has like an SUV-inspired design.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of quirky,
Yeah.
but it's also really affordable.
Okay.
And it's actually been really successful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like,
Terrific.
it's a really popular car.
Yeah.
And then we have a special mention,
Oh,
this one.
what is it?
I was really excited to see on the list.
Okay.
It's the DC Avanti.
I don't know that one.
It's actually India's first indigenous sports car.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Sadly, it's been discontinued.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still really significant.
Yeah, for sure.
It shows that,
They're willing to
yeah, they're thinking big.
take risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we've seen, how international brands are adapting to the Indian market.
Right.
But what about Indian consumers?
That's a good question.
What are they looking for these days?
Well, I think Indian car buyers are getting more and more demanding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're not just happy with the basics anymore.
So they want it all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Safety, fuel efficiency, features,
Uh-huh.
all of that.
And, of course, a good price.
Yeah, of course.
It seems like a tough balance to strike.
It is, but Indian manufacturers are doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I think they're really listening to what consumers want.
And speaking of what consumers want,
Yeah.
what about electric vehicles?
Oh, that's a big one.
Is India embracing the EV revolution?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so...
We're already seeing a lot of electric scooters and rickshaws,
Right, those are everywhere.
and now that's starting to translate to cars.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I think India has the potential
Yeah.
to become a major player in the EV market.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be amazing.
It would be huge.
And it would be great for the environment.
Right, exactly.
So what would it take for India to become a global leader in EVs?
Well, I think a few things.
Okay.
First, the government needs to create the right policies.
Right, like incentives.
Exactly, to encourage people to buy EVs.
Yeah.
And also to encourage companies to manufacture them here.
Okay, that makes sense.
And second, we need to continue investing in technology.
So like battery technology.
Yes, battery technology, charging infrastructure, all of that.
Right.
And then finally, I think we need to focus on affordability.
Yeah, that's key.
Because if EVs are too expensive,
Yeah.
then people won't buy them.
Right. So make them accessible to everyone.
Exactly.
And I think, Indian manufacturers,
Yeah.
they're really good at making affordable cars.
That's true. They've got that down.
So that's a big advantage.
It is.
Now, I know the government has been implementing stricter safety and emission norms.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How has that impacted the industry?
Well, it's definitely pushed manufacturers to innovate.
In a good way.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
They're having to invest in new technologies.
Right, to meet those standards.
Yeah, and that's leading to better, safer, and more fuel-efficient cars.
So it's actually a good thing
Yeah, I think it's a win-win.
for consumers and for the environment.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to touch on something that I think is really interesting.
What's that?
Brand perception. Do you think there's still a stigma?
Against
Yeah.
made in India cars.
Yeah, like maybe 10, 20 years ago?
Right.
Maybe there was.
Yeah, maybe there was.
But what about now?
I think it's changing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think as Indian manufacturers continue to produce high-quality cars,
Yeah,
that perception is starting to fade.
that's great.
And I think there's also a growing sense of national pride
Oh, yeah.
associated with these brands.
I can see that.
People are proud to buy Indian cars.
Yeah, and why not?
Right, exactly.
So it seems like things are really looking up for the Indian car industry.
I think so, yeah.
What do you think, like, the next 10 years will hold?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Any predictions?
Well, I definitely think we'll see more and more Indian cars on the global market.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
That's exciting.
It is.
And more innovation.
Oh, absolutely.
New technologies.
Yeah.
And, of course, more electric vehicles.
Yeah, lots more EVs.
All right. Well, I am excited to see what happens.
You too?
So before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to ask our listener,
Yeah?
what's been the most surprising thing you've learned so far?
Yeah. What stood out to you?
And what does this all tell you
Yeah.
about the global auto industry?
Is it changing?
Yeah, is it changing?
Are we seeing a shift in power?
Right. Are these emerging markets like
Uh-huh.
India?
Uh-huh.
Are they going to take center stage?
Lots to think about,
Yeah, lots to think about.
for sure.
All right, well, we'll be back in a minute
Okay.
with some final thoughts on the future of Made in India cars.
Okay, so we're back.
All right.
And, we've talked about a lot
Yeah, we have.
safety features, EVs.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that really stands out to me
What's that?
is the variety.
Hmm.
We have these rugged off-roaders,
Right.
like the Thar.
Yeah.
And then we have these really stylish city cars.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the SUVs.
Right.
And we even had that sports car.
The Avanti.
Yeah, the Avanti.
That was cool.
It's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
How much variety there is.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to the Indian market itself.
Right.
There's so much demand for
Okay.
different types of cars.
Yeah, people want different things.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about EVs,
Yeah.
but what other trends are you seeing
Well, I think
in the Indian car industry?
connectivity is going to be huge. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So, Indian consumers,
Yeah.
they're very tech savvy.
Right.
They're always on their phones,
Uh-huh.
so they're going to expect their cars to be connected too.
Right. So, like, what kind of things are we talking about?
Well, I think we'll see a lot more
Yeah.
voice-activated features
Okay.
like navigation,
Right.
music,
Uh-huh.
even things like controlling the AC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it'll all be
Yeah.
seamlessly integrated with their smartphones.
Right.
So it'll be like
Yeah.
an extension of their digital lives.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so big picture now.
Okay.
What does the success of the Indian car industry tell us about India's place in the world?
I think it shows
Yeah.
that India is a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
They're not just
Yeah.
following the trends anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're setting them.
They're innovating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to compete.
On a global stage?
Exactly.
That's really inspiring.
It is.
So for our listeners out there,
Yeah.
if you're interested in this topic, I encourage you to learn more.
Yeah.
Do your own research.
Check out those cars.
Yeah, check out the car.
Maybe even take a test drive.
Yeah, you might be surprised
You never know.
what you find.
Exactly.
And that's it for today's deep dive.
Right.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time.